guys, praise Jesus. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Becky. I bring you awesome, fun and timely content on all my platforms, so make sure you like, you comment, you share, and you definitely subscribe. I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you're having a gorgeous, beautiful, prosperous, peaceful, all the nice things. I hope that is what your week is. Mine is amazing, and today we have another sit down video. Today I'm going to be doing a catch up of my first trimester, what went on there, what we were feeling, what we were up to, and yeah, how we navigated. So in case you have not watched my other videos, please check them out. I will leave them. I know they're in a playlist about everything pregnancy and baby. I'll do a whole playlist for that, so check the previous videos. Stay on track. Don't allow this train to leave you behind. I have honestly been loving documenting and vlogging and just sharing this journey with you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys love it as much as I do. And now let's just get straight into it. This is very calm, unscripted, just sharing my journey from week 1 to first trimester. Is how many weeks? I don't know the weeks, but I know it's 3 months. Yeah, so we are gonna get all into that. So I found out I was pregnant when I was already a month gone, so I was like week 4. And the advice that you are given is as soon as you find out that you are pregnant, like, because most times we do the home test, that you go to a health facility, a hospital, a clinic, and have them do the blood test. So the blood test is what gives you like a sure answer that you're expectant. But now, because I found out at week 4, I just googled it, and most people, like the Google whatever, was saying that you have to wait for at least 6 weeks. That is when they are like sure. So I was like, okay, well and good. I was not in a hurry. I was in shock for the first like 2 weeks. So by 6 weeks I was still in shock. I was still like, I would wake up and I'd look at my tummy and I'd be like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Somebody is in here. So yeah, I was still in that state. I was in cloud 9. I was so excited. It's only me and my partner that knew. It was so nice. So yeah, I was still, in that bubble by the time week 6 came around. So week 6 comes around and then we go to the hospital, so to the gynae. Went to the gynae I used to see. We went there, we told her, we did the home test. She was so excited. And I remember the last time I went to see her, that should be a year and something ago. And I remember just telling her my fears with PCOS and conceiving and all. Guys, that is a whole other thing. I have personally not processed it, so I don't know how to share that side of this whole journey. But yeah, God helping me one of these fine days, but not yet. I'm not yet there. But I remember just tabling my concerns and my fears to her, and she was like, we serve a God who is good, a God that gives us good things. You don't have to be scared. Because at that time I was just like, I want to start, because I shared in my PCOS journey that I got to a point where I was so overwhelmed and my body was so tired from the medications that I just stopped, and I stopped caring about the whole thing. I just decided to live my life and enjoy my life and my marriage and just be, because it is something that had consumed my existence. So to be in this space where now it's a year later, after I was in her office, like pouring out my heart, like, I'm so fearful about this, because I remember there's a time I became so anxious about it again. So I went to the hospital to have just go check, and I remember telling her my history and why I have come. That is the time I met her for the first time. I've come because I'm like worried about this PCOS thing. What if by the time I want to have kids I can't because I am not taking the medicine? The lady just looked at me dead in my face and she was like, girl, we serve a good God, and if God has said that none shall be barren in the land, he means none shall be barren in the land. So she pumped my faith, and then she prescribed fertility meds. I was like, but she was not actually forcing them, by the way. I actually didn't take them at that time. I feel like I just needed God sent me there to just hear her perspective on his power and the testimonies she has had from her career experience with women conceiving even miraculously. So I felt like that is why God had sent me to her office, not necessarily to get like fertility meds or stuff, but she recommended some, and she was like, if you want to start trying immediately, she took a paper and she wrote for me some 2 medications that I will not mention, because I do not want you guys to go and self-medicate. In case you are in that journey, just go see a doctor. So she wrote the 2 medicines and she hands me the paper, and she's like, the day you're ready to start trying, buy this and go ahead. I'll be here waiting for the testimony. So to walk into her office like a year plus later, and that whole time, by the way, it's not like we were trying that year plus, no. So to walk into her office after such a long time with this praise report of we are expectant it was just absolutely amazing. So yeah, we get the blood test done and it confirms, yay, we're pregnant, 6 weeks gone. We are still excited, we are still on cloud 9. After the 6th, 7th week, you see the people say that once you have now confirmed you're pregnant, it's like something changes in your brain and all of a sudden you just start seeing symptoms everywhere. I think the first ever symptom I personally experienced was my face, like my skin broke out, guys. I got one breakout hivi ya kimataifa. My face was so bad. There were pimples and bumps everywhere, and for someone who right now it is gorgeous. For someone who has generally great skin, that stressed me out, and coupled with the fact that I could now not use my normal skincare products because they have actives, and when you're pregnant they do not recommend that you use skincare products with active ingredients. That thing was stressing me out. So that is the first thing that I saw. As soon as I put away, I literally took all those active all those products, my face washes, my scrubs, even my body care products, I stored them away. I was like, see you after 9 months, it's fine. But my face, my skin suffered, and that was the first thing I experienced. We were just cruising nicely. I don't remember if it is, I think it is now from week 10, 11. Guys, the nausea that hit me. I remember the first time I experienced that nausea from the pit of hell. I was seated on my couch. I was having normal breakfast. By the way, I loved porridge so much until this time. So the whole time my life went on like normally. I was just tired. I was just so exhausted. But let me tell you guys, by the time I got to week 9, 10, the nausea hit me like a truck. I was not expecting it. I feel like I was even at week 8. Just talking about it, it just makes me feel CGI, like just somehow I'm like, what? How did I even get through that? The nausea was so terrible. I remember the first day, the day it began, I was seated in my living room. I was having bread and porridge, and I remember just eating, and then all of a sudden I felt like I felt like gagging. But then I was like, no, I think I'm overthinking. Probably I'm in my head. It can't be me. What do you mean? I can't. Like, I'm already week 8. We are cruising nicely. What is happening? The thing that followed next day, and it is not something you can control. I hear people saying, but even if you feel like gagging, you can just suppress. Guys, it is not something I could suppress. I remember just running to my bathroom sink, and I just threw up everything I had eaten the previous night. Everything came out. It now got to a point where I was not throwing up, just like clear liquid. Guys, it was hectic. As I was saying, I was over my sink, just throwing up everything I had eaten for dinner. I threw up until nothing was coming out, guys, and deep down I knew the feeling I had that day. I knew that this thing was not going anywhere anytime soon. Anyway, but I'm still forming hard girl. The Weeks that followed, like 6 weeks, I spent them in bed. I threw up every day. Anything I ate came out, except unripe mangoes and pili pili. If you are, let me just, probably it's a Kenyan thing, let me assume. It's just, I think it's paprika and salt and a bit of chili flakes that they mix and make a powder that you add to unripe mango. Guys, even my husband's mom would buy me those mangoes and bring to my house. That is how bad it was, and that is the only thing I wanted. Then I graduated from eating mangoes with salt, with that pili pili, to eating bread. What was it? Bread and drinking chocolate. It was bread and what? I don't even remember. But then I also graduated to another level that this one now overstayed its welcome, like 3 weeks, where I only wanted rice and tomato soup, onion, tomatoes and water. Allow it to boil. That is all I wanted. I went through it, but by the time I was at week 10, I could, even all these things that I'm telling you, I could not keep them down. So I remember this one time my husband came from work and I was like, you know what, me, I feel so terrible. Yani, please, let's just go to the hospital. I cannot do this anymore. I tried the ginger that people say, oh, takes ginger and what. I tried it. It did nothing. It absolutely did not do anything. I was still so sick. I tried chewing gum. There's even a time where I had to have chewing gum at my bedside table in the living room where I was. I had to have chewing gum because I just felt like my mouth had this taste that I could not understand. So that day we went to the hospital, guys. I had lost like 5 kgs. I was so thin. I was looking so terrible. My lips were so dry. They were looking white. They were chapped. I was looking so bad. And I remember walking in and the nurse seeing me and she was like, oh, I am so sorry. She was like, I am so sorry you are going through this. So we go in. It was at night around 8, 9. Go in, do vitals and all that. And then the doctor injected something into my hand. And she told me that once I got home, I should eat anything and everything in sight. I got home, guys. That night, I remember, what did I eat? What did I want to eat? I don't even remember. But I ate, guys. I had not eaten in so many days. Oh, my neck was so thin. I honestly talk about it right now as I laugh. And there are so many days I wanted to vlog during that period. But guys, even the energy to just take my phone, I did not have it. My friend, I thank God for my family and my friends. My mom was always here. My husband was always here. He worked from home a lot that period because there's nothing I could do. Literally, the only strength I had was to leave my bed, go shower, and go back to bed. All my days were spent in my bedroom. My sisters would come, they would cook. Because now I bulk cook for my husband. So because I want him to have food to take to the office, they would come, they would bulk cook. The smell of pilau masala made me so disgusted, and that is my husband's favorite meal, pilau. He loves it. I could not stand pilau masala. I could not stand onions being fried. Yeah. If they're looking for someone with a first trimester testimony of the shege they saw, I will take my mic and talk about myself. But it was so hard, and I feel like the reason why it hit me the way it did is I actually never expected to be that person. You see those things that you have posting and then you're just like, it can't be me, it can't be me. And now going to the hospital and the doctor being like, if this goes on for the next, if you would throw up every day for the next week, it will now graduate to HG. And guys, that is a whole other devil. And my sister in love kept telling me, babe, by the time you get to week 13, guys, I was looking forward to week 13 and time was not moving. You can imagine all your days you're spending in bed. How is time moving? And during that period, there was a conference at church. Best is trust and believe that I ministered in that conference. I would leave home in the morning with my sister, start the journey to go to church, get to town, buy apples and passion fruit, get to church. I am so tired. I am sitting. My back is paining. My head is paining me. Everywhere is paining me. And I still served. That is when I knew that my love for God is great. That is when I knew that I am stronger than I think. I remember the Sunday of climaxing that conference. I was literally in tears. I was just like, I can't do this. How am I gonna do this? Where am I getting the strength? But guys, I did. But you see, from that Sunday, everything just went downhill until I got to week 13. By the way, I don't have anything nice to say about first trimester. If you have not figured out by now, it was crazy. It was terrible. But I thank God. I thank God for my family. I thank God for my friends. My friends came to see me. They were always here just checking up on me, making sure I'm okay. Guys, I am absolutely grateful. Something else that I think also made first trimester very tricky for me was when I started taking prenatals. So I started taking prenatals, and I remember going to the hospital, and when the nurse was prescribing, I was like, can you please give me something that is not like a big pill, because I don't like pills and I'm already nauseous all the time. So if it has a smell to it, I will not be able to take it. Guys, this woman prescribed the fattest gummies I have ever seen in my entire life. The fattest gum, and it was black. As soon as I took it out of the bag, guys, I projectile everything. And that day I had at least eaten. Every single thing came out. I could not. So I woke up the next morning to go back to hospital, to return her prenatals to her and tell her, Madam, all these things you have given me, there is nothing I can take. I had also gotten, because in first trimester I was not drinking water, I could not stand it. I was so dehydrated that I got an infection. So they also prescribed antibiotics. I could also not swallow the antibiotics. So I took both of them, the antibiotics and the gummies, the next morning back to the hospital. I was like, I can't do this. What other option do you have? So they prescribed an injectable antibiotic for 5 days. Guys, my hands were so, like, my hands were black. You see there right now, you can see them. They were so black because of the injections. I would go there every day. Every day you find a different nurse, not the one for yesterday. My veins are so tiny. You have to be so careful, otherwise you're just injuring me. Guys, my hands were so dark. I remember by the time I went for day 5, the doctor I found was like, I am so sorry you have to go through this. I was like, it's okay. I prefer this to adding something else that will make me throw up. So that is when I started taking Promimba gummies that I took the whole of the pregnancy. But yeah, first trimester was crazy. First trimester was crazy. I do not wish that on anyone. And it is so easy to hear people talk about first trimester and you're like, kwanza when you're not pregnant, you're just like, what can be so hard about nausea? Oh, wait until the only thing you want is unripe mangoes and pili. Oh, my husband went through it. Guys, as you marry, you're not just finding a man as your husband, you're finding someone that will be with you through pregnancy, which is crazy, through loss of your parents, through loss of friends, and through everything in life. I highly recommend you marry a good man. I highly recommend you marry someone who actually loves you, because I cannot imagine. Oh, first trimester was crazy. So I did not vlog anything in first trimester. After finding out, I think the next time I vlogged I was like week 15. But as soon as I got to week 13, 14, everything went away. It's like it was a cloud that was just lifted. All those things went away. The nausea went away. The exhaustion went away. I could feel like myself. Like I could go into the kitchen and make a meal and sit and eat it. For me, that was a testimony. That alone was a testimony. So yeah, that is just it. That is my first trimester experience. it was not the prettiest experience, but you know what, I don't hate it per se, because it is part of the journey that got me to having my baby. So it's fine, it's okay. If that is what it takes, even the next time I was like, you know what, even if this is what has to happen again for me to have my babies, it's okay. But I know God is merciful. He will not allow me to go through that again because he's a good God. So yeah, I'm just grateful that I had support, I had family. But that is why I had to tell my family and my siblings early. We had to tell them earlier than we wanted, because now I needed all the help I could get. You get, like, I needed someone around. I knew, like, my husband going to work and leaving me alone was not an option, and him not going to work for weeks on end was also not an option. So yeah, I needed someone to be with me. So every other day someone was here with me, and I absolutely thank them. I am so grateful for them. I'm so grateful. They literally carried me through that season. So yeah, that was first trimester, and yeah, we thank God, because what else can we do? We are here, we made it on the other side victorious. But yeah, it was still filled with so much joy and so much, gratitude to God for the child, because yeah, it had been quite a journey. So yeah, that is everything that went on in my first trimester. Nothing gorgeous, but everything that was worth it and needed for us to get to where we are today. In case you are in your first trimester, please hold on, hang in there. I know you're listening to me and you're like, hang on what? Hang on where? Hang where? Why? Hang in there. Honestly, it will come to an end. It does come to an end, and you unlock the glow and all the nice things about pregnancy. But yeah, just hang in there, you will be okay. And the queens and the God's favorite kids who just go through first trimester like nothing happened, we love you still, and we really wish we were you. But yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. In case of any questions, anything you want to know, please leave it in the comments down below. I will make time and answer all of your comments. Subscribe if you are not subscribed, and I will definitely see you in my next video. Bye, guys. Mina kwakumele ngivume ukuthi wena ungithanda, angizokwenza njani.